Welcome to part 5 of The Last of Us Remastered commentary, brought to you by nothing particular.
In this part, we're going to be smuggling this infected girl out of the Boston quarantine zone. Let's just see how effective this military is. Also, I never really focused on it. Because you're meant to be going away from it all the time, but the wall they fucking model is fucking huge.
Yeah. This is a pretty beautiful moment in the game. How is the stealth?
The stealth is okay, if a little bit systematic. It's kind of got MGS guard syndrome, or MGS spotlight syndrome, rather. The guards just do completely perfect sweeps with their lights. Don't go into the lights. It's actually pretty easy, like... I thought, on this part, I was going to cut out failures, but I didn't really have a problem. Which is the thing, because, like, I practice run these, but this area I was just going in.
Did you see
like, oh, it worked.
Did you see how fucking Joel just totally dicked Ellie there? It was like, fucking get back, bitch!
Being infected really fucks you up.
Oh, see, like, that's nothing I ever wanted to see.
So, yeah, there's still a few quirks. It was kind of funny when I was going over videos for this game when I was recording it, just to kind of get a consensus both from reviews and from people on the internet. And I just, like, got that moment after watching a video by a guy called Hyperbit Hero, and his video on the game has a great sense of tangibility. Things don't clip. They... Granted, that was based on the E3 demo, which, let's face it, was probably really scripted.
Yeah.
Super fucking scripted.
Can you script the game so much that it doesn't feel scripted anymore? Huh? Snake, you know how certain podcasts have, like, ad reads? Like, they read their sponsors? Imagine if Commentary Comms was sponsored and you had to do an ad read during every commentary part.
It would suck. I'd feel like my soul was being sucked out. Wouldn't you?
This part of The Last of Us Remastered is brought to you by Cherry's Berries. Cherry's Berries delivers strawberries coated in chocolates right to your door. So if you want your mom or grandma or maybe your boyfriend to have some nice chocolate covered raisin strawberries, why don't you use the promo code CommentaryComms on sherrysberries.com and get 20% off on those delicious berries.
I give them 2.5 thumbs up. They're very good. They keep you regular.
Snake, I have a piece of paper with me every time I do commentaries. It's just so I could do read off gags.
Oh, I'm not artificial like that. Like Cherry's berries.
Cherry's berries are actually real.
Are they artificial?
I don't know. I've never had any.
Wow, we don't even test the products that we talk about?
I think they're purely American. During Valentine's Day, when I ordered flowers for a certain someone who dumped me,
Is this another one of your read-off gags?
I think the flowers were in partnership with Cherry's Berries, and the flowers are pretty shitty themselves, but it's really the only like flower service that like sends flowers all over America, and they're pretty cheap. And Rooster Teeth was doing a fucking a coupon thing with that was promoted by Rooster Teeth on one of their podcasts. And so I saw that Cherry's Berries was partnered with them, and I looked at it, and it was just kind of disgusting. Is it wrong that I do not want to eat berries covered in like weird shit, like caramel and chocolate?
I don't think that's wrong whatsoever. I mean, I've seen chocolate-covered raisins. I can't say I'm a fan of them.
Well, I think chocolate-covered raisins are a different thing. But if it's like a whole fucking, like a huge-ass strawberry, which is like, they're probably not refrigerated. They're coming from some truck to you somewhere. They're probably gonna be really dry. Like, the chocolate is fine on it, and you just get to the berry part, it's like, oh. That's my completely baseless,
And,
opinion.
that's the end of our promo for Cherry's Berries.
Don't forget to visit
Don't
Cherry's
forget.
Berries for commentary
Use
comps.
the promo code. Promo code may not work as of this recording.
Use teeth or something. I think that's Rooster Teeth's promo code.
And use teeth to eat them too. So yeah, after that little bit there, this isn't really much of a stealth segment. And I didn't talk about it then, but the bricks and the throwable bottles are fucking overpowered. Their AI just shits the bed really hard when bottles and bricks get involved. And the problem is, it kind of works that way in combat as well. Enemies can see you duck behind something, shoot you a couple times, you could throw a brick behind them from the cover you're at, and they will turn around and exit combat mode. It can get pretty abusable.
Joel, see if there's anything we can use in here.
It's kind of like a challenge run of this game. Don't abuse the AI, because it's pretty easy. This was another part about recording commentary on this game. It's fun to play, but there are a lot of scavenging sections.
That's why you, Snake, you and I are so masterful at bullshitting.
Yeah, we've got the gift for gab, as it were. I say that, and then we don't say anything for several seconds.
I was
following.
looking at one piece of foliage which seemed to be glitching out. Or it was just the wind. I mean, look how stiff the foliage is. Fucking, this was the game of the year, Snake! Bullshit!
I know.
The foliage
Stiff.
is so stiff for my liking!
You just like your foliage to be nice, nimble, flexible.
I want my foliage to look like how it looks in real life.
Surrounded by broken cars.
Basically.
Completely destitute. It's a good thing they won't go more than 1 mile away from the quarantine
What
zone.
was the plan? Let's say that we deliver you to the fireflies. What then?
Well...
Marlene, she said that they have their own little quarantine zone with doctors there still trying to find a cure.
Yeah, we've heard that before, huh, Tess?
Giving him shit like that.
Whatever happened to me is that
He's just so embittered, though. Joel should just... He should just cheer up a bit.
she said.
Fucking Joel needs to
Me neither.
touch his nipples
Hell are we doing?
so they calm down. Put pressure on your nipples for 3 seconds and they will calm down.
Come this far, let's just finish it.
Do I need to remind you what
It's the infected that killed my daughter. I don't believe this shit. If it's cured, she died for nothing. The whole world killed his daughter, basically. He's mad
You
at
killed
everything.
my daughter? This fucking loading screen killed my daughter.
This way.
Just that sad shot of Joel just standing like, oh, I have to go along with this.
This tunnel hair, you killed my daughter. Oh, this car killed my daughter.
So now we're out of the quarantine zone, now we're kind of heading into...
Oh, this quarantine zone killed my daughter.
Now we're heading into the kind of city proper.
It's a very dark city, because if you've noticed, it's gotten dark.
Buildings look like they're closed.
Yeah, it's brighter than it could be.
So damn tall.
Like, seriously, what happened for a building to just...
Surrounding areas.
I'm guessing from the way nature is overtaking it, a tree knocked it over. Just a tree uprooted the building.
That's just explained that they bombed the shit out of this place.
Yeah, it was like fucking
Ruined.
Yonkers all over again.
I saw some concept art of the zombies in this game that I'm pretty sure doesn't appear in the game. It seemed very Resident Evil-esque. Like, it looked like a monster at that point, just like a combination of different zombies, and it walked on all fours. Does something like this appear in the game?
Not anything on all fours, no. The kind of variety in Infected is there are about 3 different. There's 4 technically, but really two of the kind of differing Infected, I never really noticed too much of a big difference in gameplay. Like, it's kind of weird. They went over a kind of timeline of how the Infected develop. And stages 1 and 2 are kind of interchangeable to me. And I'm pretty sure if anyone's listening to this, they're probably going to say, no, they're quite different. But I do not feel it in gameplay.
Well, when we get to that, you can explain more of it.
Yeah, I can go over it. Now that we're out of the quarantine zone, Infected are actually going to be a bit of a tissue for us.
Are you going to need some issues?
I'm going to need some issues for them. They do an interesting thing with a bit of the collapsed building, at least. Even though it does feel like a bit of an element as we want a building on its side. Let's just put one on its side for the sake of it.
Building that's tipped over a little bit. Which the idea for that comes from the Uncharted school of game development.
That's what, yeah, I was going in there. All of Uncharted 3 was basically, here's this cool set piece, let's string them together.
Like, I like to imagine, like, the producer for the game came into the writing room. It's like, okay, here's all the set pieces. I want you to fucking make the best story you can. By
out of these materials. Let's just read this note from a rather impatient soldier.
He died.
He's so mad there's no zombies around. Then there were zombies.
Now you're dead.
He probably really appreciated 1018 after the zombies arrived. But that might be why I'm using the term lucky in this game where, instead of contrived, because Uncharted 3 was contrived. This is a lightweight in contrivances.
I don't really care that much in Uncharted 3. Like, as soon as I saw there was a fucking screen wipe and we were in fucking Transylvania, I pretty much stopped caring.
I think the point where I stopped caring was they were sprinting through a city looking for an ancient well. They dive into a doorway, turn around like, oh, there's the well.
What?
Oh, that's fucking lucky. That is contrived. Oh, well, we ran into exactly the right building in a nondescript alleyway. Who'd have thunk it? Alright, so I'm just scavenging, but here's how we progress. This is what the cordyceps do to people after quite a while. This is kind of before they start giving off spores, but where they just kind of die off and start melding into nearby shit.
Sort of.
Like, the idea of the cordyceps, I won't say it's clever because it's taken from nature, but it is. Last of Us was the one to use it first, so I'll condemn it. I'll applaud it for that.
It doesn't need to be clever, it just needs to provide a kind of interesting gameplay function. And it's
I
kind
won't
of
say it
hit-or-miss
provides
to me.
gameplay. It's more just world building or anything. Like, if it was just if it was just zombies, they're basically just zombies. But if it was just zombies, it wouldn't be as interesting or entertaining.
This just gives you enough information about them to go, okay, I accept these things. I accept them. This is a newish take on Infected, even though it is taken from the kind of brain infection in insects. Okay, shivs. I don't use shivs too much. That shiv master there, look, on my first run through, I thought that would be the most useful thing. It really isn't. Just don't get grabbed by clickers. Save your shivs. Because there are shiv doors in the game that give you a lot more items, but you need a shiv on hand at the time, so I just always hold on to one or two, just in case I run into one of those doorways.
The thing with the cordyceps is, though, I think the ants that have, like, cordyceps in them look way more fucked up than any of the cordyceps in this game do.
How fucked up are those insects? Are they still kind of recognizable of their species, or are they, like...
The fact that they're... Like, the cordyceps, the way in real life it works, they start coming out at a point where the ant is already dead. So it just looks kind of surreal and kind of otherworldly, while this just... I mean, they look fucked up, but that's basically it. They just kind of look fucked up.
It's just kind of like they've got mushroomy plates all over their body, basically.
It's not that frightening. Like, imagine if, like, people kept dying and then trees started growing out of them and no one knows why.
It'd kind of be harder to make that exciting.
Well, yeah, in a game-wise, but, like, I think, like, for just maybe a movie or story-wise, it could be interesting.
I mean, they've got that Last of Us movie, which,
Last of Us movie.
It's not going to do that, obviously, but...
The Last of Us movie, for some reason.
I mean, this pretty much told the story fine. That's just going to be this, but stripped down in a way.
It's not going to have...
I mean, because a lot of the character building comes from the quieter moments that would just kind of... If you just used all the quiet moments from this game to build into that movie, it would either have to be really disjointed or they'd have to supplant them all into one spot, and it would just come out as weird to me.
But Snake, it won't have Bakey Troy.
It won't have Bakey Troy.
I think they could use Bakey Troy. Maybe not as Joel, because they don't look a lot alike, but just spice him up a little bit. I think he could still work in a Last of Us movie.
They've done a stage show of this game, though, haven't they?
But Nolan fucking North looks like a short, chubby guy. That guy will not work in any movie if you want a fucking hero. Like, I watched the fucking scene we recently talked about, the well scene. I saw the mocap for that, and it was just, that's not my Nathan Drake.
Okay, so this is the gameplay introduction of the clickers. Their kind of logic is they're like bats, they echolocate. But What's
the basis on that? How does that work? What about fucking mushrooms?
I don't know.
Makes that work?
I mean, it's kind of just their eyes are covered up by the fungus, so they somehow develop the ability to make that click that lets them see via sound, but that's not really... I mean, they can't hit... It bounces sound off of things. Even if I'm standing still, it should still see me. I get why it is from a gameplay perspective, but it's just kind of like... It's not really explaining it too well.
Snake, what you're saying is that if I just close my eyes and in a dark room just go... I should technically be able to see.
Yes. If you work hard enough.
Fucking neat.
Hey, there was the case of that kid a few years ago. The one who had eye cancer. Did you ever see that news story on him?
No.
I'm gonna have to link you that afterwards. Basically, I'm not sure about the validity of that.
Are you fucking serious right now?
I'm not sure about the validity of that, but the point of the article was he was blind, but he could navigate pretty well because he made a clicking noise. I'm gonna link you that afterwards. It's been years since I've watched it, and I really should question it a bit more.
Well, we're ending the part soon, so I guess I'll bring it up in part 6, and we'll talk about it. We'll discuss it.
Part 6 opens with you saying you're full of shit, Snake.
We'll maybe do another ad read. We gotta get sponsors. Am I right? we gotta get that money.
Making them big bucks.
Big bucks.
Cherry berry, bitch.
It's cherries berries.
Cherries berries, bitch. They keep you regular.
Night's atmosphere, Naughty Dog game, the thumbs up.